Hi everybody, John Bailey, professional gemstone artist and founder of the Faceting Academy. Welcome to my studio and another short instructional video to help make your faceting faster, easier, and more productive. This video is about two things: how to cut one of my more popular designs and a bit of training about OMNI preforms. The design here is called Jessica's Sacred Heart. It's a heart shape with a cross inside of it. I created this design for a custom engagement ring, and it's become one of my more popular designs, both to custom cut for clients and that other faceters seem to like cutting. The thing is that people have a difficult time sequencing it, and partly because it's a little bit advanced to build. I also get a lot of questions about OMNI architecture and how do OMNIs work. So even though this isn't a typical OMNI, most OMNIs are Baryons, it'll be useful for starting to understand how OMNI strategy builds a perfect girdle plan. So here's the challenge with this particular stone. A design needs a precise girdle plan, designed like this. But it can't be easily built using a simple meet point strategy. It doesn't come together easily for this. It also doesn't lend itself to a CAM that will let you retain any of the CAM guide facets. So any facets you use to build a CAM, you're going to cut them away anyhow. So another thing about CAM with this, using a CAM system to cut this design would also be a real pain in the neck. And here's why. When you try to set up a CAM, you find that there aren't any three guide facets that happen at the same angle. This means you don't have a way to find the center axis of the stone to be able to locate your temporary culet to make all of your CAM guide facets meet properly. So you'll have to begin by cutting a point at some low angle with some random indexes, then meeting at that point with your guide facets just to get the center. Then after that, you're going to have to use 8 different angles and mast heights just to make the CAM facets. That's going to be a real time suck. I don't know about you, but I would be sick of this design before I could even finish the preform. So there is a better way, and it's an OMNI preform. We set this up by using different indexes for the guide facets than the girdle facets. And that's OMNI architecture. So we're going to cut all but 2 of the guide facets at the same angle and mast height. One angle, one mast height, all except 2 of these guide facets. We only have one angle and mast height change to do the preform, and the culet point should be very accurate because we're not making changes. Once you have that point, you can install the girdle facets. Now they're on different indexes, you have to pay attention to that. To define a single point in space for meet point faceting, we need 3 coordinates. Or, the way we do it in meet point faceting, the intersection of 3 planes. We cut a flat facet where those 3 facets cross, that's a point. We're going to define the point of our heart shape by putting in the first 2 girdle facets. That location right here, we get 4 planes crossing each other, there's a point. Those 2 girdle facets also cross 2 of the guide facets on each side. That gives us a meet point, 3 planes crossing in space, here's our meet point. That's the meet point that we're going to cut to for the next girdle facet, and those cut in like this. These girdle facets, because they're not on the same indexes as the guide facets, as they cut in, the girdle line seems to roller coaster up and down as it progresses. That doesn't matter. Don't worry about that now. It's going to be fixed later. That's part of how an OMNI comes together. All that's important is that each girdle facet meets that meet point of the 2 guide facets and the previous girdle facet. Just meet it, cut it to that depth, and keep working your way around like that. That's how you cut an OMNI girdle. That crazy roller coastering thing, that gets fixed in the next step. In a typical OMNI design, we use Baryon type facets. I call them adapter facets, and they're usually installed to level the girdle. In this design, because we're only doing an OMNI type preform, we're going to just cut away all of the existing guide facets, and the new facets, those will create a level girdle. So from here, we just cut in the design. It starts with the 4 largest pavilion facets, like this. We add the other pavilion facets on the same indexes as the girdle facets that they meet, and that creates a level girdle all the way around. Notice that the culet ends of some of these facets don't seem to meet right, but that's because we're leaving room for the cross facets later. We install those next to last with the tiny little triangle at the point of the heart eased in carefully to make everything else meet. Then we transfer the stone and cut a standard step-style crown. Looks just like this, comes in really quick. Boom, boom, boom. The finished stone is going to look like this. Here, rendered in YAG, it weighs over 25 carats. This design is good for larger pendant stones, but the effect will still work in stones all the way down to about 6 millimeters if you cut it very accurately. In case you want to do a really cool sapphire ring for somebody, this is a stone that'll work. I'll put a link in the comments where you can download both the preform file and the design itself. I hope you enjoy cutting it and learning about OMNI architecture. If you're really serious about faceting and want to take the brakes off your faceting progress, come train with us at the International Faceting Academy in a fast, fun, and friendly setting. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you here.